Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another stream of this weekend. We are, of course, on Saturday night with a very interesting match, but of course, casting in your own is a little bit sad, it's a little bit boring, so I brought a friend along, and that friend ends up being Nico.
Hello, hello. Very exciting match tonight, especially because it's Ascension versus Ascension here. I'm very excited to be on this one. I'm very much looking forward to casting this one with you, Stealthy.
Well, I don't think we are the only ones looking forward to this. Of course, we have just seen that both teams, both the Ascension teams, of course, throwing a little bit of shade at each other, both wanting to show which one of the two teams is, of course, a little bit better than the other one. But it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they perform in general, because, of course, we have two Division 1 teams, both of the same, well, I would say brand, as we can probably see Ascension as a brand. I don't know if that's wrong or bad, but you get what I mean, right, Nico?
Yeah, of course. Ascension is more like a little,
Family.
yeah, a little family of the little things. I was on as a sub for one of the teams for a little while until they left, and then I left. But that's besides the point. These two teams have been, as you say, in the multiple chats, just throwing a little bit of shade, telling you're gonna lose, you're going to look silly on stream and stuff if we get streamed and stuff. So it's going to be a little unfortunate for the teams who for the team who loses.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it will be the end of the world. Of course, one of the two teams has to be stronger, because otherwise, you're like, maybe we should have made one of the two teams a little bit more overpowered, because then you have a bigger chance for the entire Ascension family to win it. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that one goes, of course, and which one of the two will be victorious. I mean, I don't know if you have any predictions on this so far, but just from inside, what would you say is the main difference between the two teams?
Okay, so Ascension Trinity, they play very fast paced. They are a very like not rotation. I wouldn't say non-rotational, but like they're more of beat one guy to the ball, and then your teammate is always right behind you, so he can follow it up, so he can beat the next guy, and like they just keep like always beating one guy with every touch, and therefore they will always end up scoring somehow because they just keep on winning that one challenge after another, and it tears the defense apart. And then Kyrios is a very demo heavy team. They like to go for a lot of plays where they come from behind and then take a demo and then leaves the net completely open. So those playstyles, I see Ascension Trinity winning this, also based on what I've seen from scrim results and in the off season. So I'll say Ascension Trinity will win this one.
Fair enough. You're going with Trinity, just because of your own prediction and what you were talking about, like the other team, Kyrios, being a little bit more offensive, but being a little bit more on the demo side. I feel like that will probably mess up the speed. Like, some players can play very speedy, but the moment they get demoed and get out of that momentum, I feel like it's gonna be very tough. So I'm gonna go with Kyrios. A little bit against you. That's gonna be something interesting to
Okay.
see. But I think that might be the spiciest result. I'm mostly wrong, but I hope for this time that I'm actually right for once.
I think I'll say like a 3-0 actually. I'll actually go with a bold prediction here because I feel like Kyrios can't really match the speed, and because they won't be able to match the speed, they'll get out boosted. I guess you could say like they'll get stolen all their boosts, so they can't do all the demos that they want to do. So I feel like they'll be in a lot of trouble. So I'll go for a solid 3-0 for Trinity.
Bold statements, bold statements. Of course, now all I hope for you is that's coming true, because otherwise, Kyrios is gonna be like smack in the face. What did you say about us, Nico? Go on here and to say it in our face. And what are these results? Yes, they're something completely different, aren't they? Now, shh, and never doubt us again.
Yeah, okay, that is fair. I like all the Curious boys. I have nothing against them. I think they're a great team, but I think Trinity is just the level and the speed level above them. So I can't wait to really see what they're actually going to bring to this to this match, because it is going to be interesting. But if my predictions are right, then I won't be surprised.
Well, you not being surprised, maybe some others are, maybe some others aren't. Of course, we are still waiting a little bit on teams joining. We have our first team in, which is Chucho, Nuri, and Chari. Cherry? Sherry.
Sherry.
Yeah, I was like, Cherry? Also kinda Cherry. That's just like the French marcherie. That means completely different thing, but oh well.
Well. Yeah, but for Ascension Kyrios tonight we have, as you said, Chucho, Sherry, and Nore playing. I think Nore is actually signed up as their sub, I believe, so that could also move some predictions here, possibly.
Wait, you're still saying that he was moved up as a sub, and now you said it might change predictions, but you already predicted a 3-0 sweep.
I mean, I said for some, it might change some predictions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Nick, that was not making much sense at all, but
well.
yeah.
Whoops. Let me pull up Ascension Kyrios here. Yes, Nore is signed up as their official sub. So left out of this match is Dennis. What do you think about that? That they are using a sub instead of their main player here.
Wait, were you saying that Dennis was on the main roster?
Yeah, Dennis is the main roster player. Nore is the sub.
See, Dennis was telling me yesterday that he feels like he's more the sub, even though Nori is signed up as the sub. So
okay, that's interesting. I did not know that one, but I can only go off of what I see on the teams list.
yeah, of course, that's nothing else you can do about it. But we got both teams in right now. I don't know if you want to start, if there's something else you want to share with everyone before we start, but yeah.
I feel like we have to expect a very intense games here because both of these teams want to give it their all because they don't want to lose against their own like org mates, if you can say so. So I definitely expect some very intense games here.
Well, we're expecting some spice. We're expecting some flair, and we got the teams joining. So without further ado, Nico, it's time to get the show on the road.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, of course, the first start, and it's of course a quick kickoff already going in favor of Ascension Kyrios, going a little bit high there. And now we have a first attempt. Chucho clearing the ball to the middle. Nuru with a quick shot, and Hodge on defense does make the save that he needs to. Now Havoc playing the ball to the side, does take his time, does get a good 50-50 on Chucho, but just right there, blocked by Nuri. Perfect placement and positioning for Kyrios so far.
Yeah, and oh, that's a miss by. Okay, nice defense there by Hodge. I was about to say it was a pretty bad miss from Jess, but his teammate does well to clear. But now Chucho with a shot, it's off the crossbar, off the 50. Jerry with a little bit of a miss there, but Nora is there to clean up and gets demoed by the Jess there, and quick shot by Cherry off the mark here. And it seems like Kyrios actually has the advantage here early in game one.
You can call it advantage, but some may call it pressure. And we have Cherry, of course, known to be that mechanical guy that sometimes pops off, trying to pull off an air dribble, but now it is Chucho taking the ball into his own corner, taking the boost to try and control it, but the ball is down in the middle. Hodge with an open attempt to get it anywhere close to his teammates, but he does end up sending it nowhere, but is now Havoc in control of the ball. Does try to outshow Cherry, going for an air dribble, then to a read, but a good block coming out from Nuri, playing the ball to the middle again where Hodge was waiting. Well, 1-2-1 passing play, almost connecting, but Cherry, instead of being that mechanical nut guy in offense, was now there in defense to clean it all up.
And we see Chucho going up for a block there, but Havoc gets it past him, and Cherry looking to follow this up, and he does so. It's in, actually. I don't know what Hodge was doing there. I thought he was going to be able to get up for it, but apparently I don't think he had a lot of boost on this one. Now he had 12 boost in net. That is not going to be enough, and he clips the post. Unfortunate start for Trinity here.
Well, an unfortunate start, but that's making it 1-0 already for Kyrios. Of course, the team I predicted to win. Probably everybody in chat is telling me that I'm wrong, but I don't know why. You were giving me certain information, and I was like, okay, that's the most logical assessment to make if the other team is more demo relevant. But so far, I have to give the demo offensive plays to Trinity more, and now they're also boost farming, so that's definitely going to come into play. But right there, good clear to the side from Cherry. Does not have the boost to follow it up though, but Nori is quick on that ball, quick on that follow-up, and make sure it goes wide now. Fudge, no boost. Does get quickly challenged by Chucho.
Or team bump though.
Now in their half, already going back and forth a little bit. Cherry playing the ball high, does try and go for the backboard, but there is Havoc already lurking, playing the ball down to the middle once again from Chucho, but Cherry not able to connect. Will leave this opportunity for Trinity. Almost a beautiful block by Jazz, but still no goal for Trinity.
Yeah, and it seems like they were just giving a little bit too much space, Trinity, by Kyrios here, but Kyrios seems to be pushing the offense now, but Hodge will get back to this one, and they seem to be kind of starved here, Trinity. It doesn't seem like they have much boost to play that speedy game as they want to.
And that's the thing why you were talking about. They wanted to play speedy, but if you of course waste too much boost, you don't get any boost. You have to go all the way back. Then the ball is still in control for Kyrios, but right there, beautiful play. Havoc playing the ball to the middle, almost connecting it to his teammate, and now Nuri having to rush in. Does get a very good connection as the ball is now moving into the defense from Trinity once again. Ball clear to the middle. Chariot with an attempt right there, going way too high, and that ball is still going forward. Nuri almost does get a very good 50-50 against Havoc.
And Hodge with a little bit of space, but Cherry will close it down. And now we see Jess wants to take his time in the corner there, but gets blocked by Chucho. Now Hodge also looking to take his time in the corner, tries to get past one, and now Havoc is up, but he is beat by Chucho. It seems as though they can't really win these 50-50s right now, Trinity. It seems like they're just getting outmatched in the 50-50 game, but that is a good shot, but equally as good save from Nora there, but a little bit of double commit on the Kyrios side. Will leave some space for Jess, but he has no boost, and Chucho will easily beat him to the ball.
Oh, no boost. Now Cherry playing that ball high, trying to get it over Hodge, who does have to use all his boost to get a connection there. Nuri, unfortunate double touch, leaving the ball stationary in the middle, but now Cherry banging the ball forward, trying to get Chucho. Chucho does get an extension. Cherry now up for the ball, almost gets it dropped by Hodge, but Hodge still able to clear it now. Jazz playing the ball to the side, nobody from his team there as they are low boost. Ball now going to the side to Hodge. Chucho does try to get a connection to the middle. Nuri now having to take his space, shot from Havoc going wide as the last 4 seconds wind down. This seems to be still an opportunity for Trinity. All they have to do is score it now, but Kyrios is hanging on to dear life, and they got game 1.
Yeah, and I'll have to say, really well played to Kyrios. I did not expect him to come out here and be able to slow Trinity's play down as well as they did. They kept taking their boost, kept out 50-50ing them so that they couldn't just beat them blandly on the challenges, and like it's very well played by Kyrios to not allow Trinity to play their game. I felt like that was what this game was about.
Yeah, you were talking about how both teams play. We see that both teams barely got any shots. For Ascension Kyrios, of course, double the amount of shots as Ascension Trinity has, like 3 on the side for Trinity, 6 on the side for Kyrios. But the amount of saves they got as well, 3 saves for Kyrios, 4 saves for Trinity. It's just shows that both teams can play very defensively and effective in defense as well. Of course, Trinity did get scored on in that early stage, giving Kyrios that upper hand, but if Cherry wasn't there to put that one in, it would have probably gone overtime 0-0. We'd probably still be sitting here thinking like, who's going to win this game?
Yeah, and but we'll see what happens in game 2. Now, like I don't know what to expect in this game.
Wow, you clearly did in the start.
I don't know after this game 1, man. Like Kyrios is playing very well. They're playing very well here.
I mean,
they're just not allowing Trinity to play their game. Like that's just what is.
the biggest question right now is, okay, yeah,
I think
remake.
I think
Let's
we have a
go.
bit like that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe
think-
Havoc is changing his car.
I think Havoc just didn't connect to the match.
No, he said join and then he said left.
Well,
It was strange to me, but
maybe,
maybe it was a bad server immediately. But you never know.
maybe had the the little glitch where you can't really join a team, where you're just stuck in spectator mode.
Hmm.
I mean,
Who
that
knows?
happens sometimes, but yeah, we'll get right on the way into the next game again. But as I was just saying, like Kyrios is just doing a fantastic job of not allowing Trinity to play that fast-paced like gameplay. Like they're slowing the play down so that they feel comfortable and that they can go for all these 50-50s and actually win these 50-50s to get into the offensive side. So I gotta give props to Kyrios. They're playing way better than I actually expected them to be.
Well, playing better than you expect, that's of course something very nice to see, something very nice to take into account, because that means
Oh,
that
Cherry, of
upsets are
course.
possible, but oh dear. I guess if you can't
Oh.
beat him, join him.
I think they are here now. I think
Yeah.
Cherry saying sorry there. It's all good now. We can get underway with game 2 here. See who if they can take the game or the series point. But a good save from Jess in the start here and beating one guy to the ball, but not beating Noreen. A little bit of a redirect attempt from Chucho will not go his favor.
Well, it might not have gone their favor, but right now we still feel like Trinity has that more boost like he was talking about. Of course, it's the start of a certain build-up towards a goal, and of course the boost levels are still high. If you do very good boost management, you will never choke about it, but right there, that cleave from Cherry does get it past to Havoc, not being able to control it. Now Nuri leaving a ball in the middle, and Jazz does get a shot. Trinity in the lead for
Yeah, and I think it was just about Norrie not really knowing. Oh, he just mistimed it. He wanted to control that, and he just mistimed it there. Unfortunate stuff for Norrie. You hate to see it.
Oh, hate to see it, but that is reality right now, and Kyrios will have to try and answer back. Nuri does get a flip reset of that ball, but that's a very good lob from Hodge. Already making it 2-0. That placement was perfect.
Yeah, Norrie here, he again, it's Norrie. He just wants to take his time, gets a flip reset. It bounces a little bit too much away from him, and Hodge is just there to put it right where Cherry can't get it, and it's just good capitalization from Trinity here early on in game 2.
Well, a quick capitalization, but of course now Kyrios trying to push as much as possible. Chucho trying to challenge that ball. Nuri does get a touch. He's going to the middle right now. He does almost get it past Havoc, but Havoc is right there. Does get a clinical touch. Now Jazz having to control the ball. Limited amounts of boost. Now on 0. Nuri does get a very good launch. The ball goes to the side. Hodge now trying to take his time this time around. Does get a very good first pop, almost gets it past Chucho, but he predicted it nicely. Now the ball going to the middle, just right there. Good block from Nuri, but the tension is still on as Havoc does get a good touch. Blocked by Cherry. Cherry now trying to get that pushing play, get those bumps out as Nuri does clean it up right above the crossbar right there. Very important moment to, of course, get that ball worked away. But right there we had Havoc. Clinical opportunity. Hodge still keeping the pressure on. Kyrios choking on their life to try and hold on.
Yeah, but we see both teams kind of struggling for boost right now as they've been stuck in the back third of Kyrios for a long time, so they have to retrieve for boost real quick, but they're right back where they left off on the offensive. Not a great shot from Havoc though, and it will be a clear for Cherry. Maybe some breathing room here for Kyrios.
Well, breathing room with an open, that's definitely not something to breathe at, because right there, Jazz is just waiting. He knows the ball will potentially go crossbar. He knows his teammate too well, and Hodge, well, I don't think that's what he predicted or wanted, but the moment he saw Chucho going up, he was like, potentially the best play out for this play.
Yeah, and I said possibly some breathing room, but as Trinity just get the ball right back down the field, it was inevitably going to be a goal because everyone pushed up. But here, Chucho with a quick goal right off the kickoff. I did not expect this one. I thought someone from Trinity was in the corner, but no, it was a demo, and the other guy was just chasing some boost and open net for Chucho.
Well, he was talking about somebody being in the corner. There was somebody in the corner. That was Jazz, and he realized I have to quickly challenge this ball because I'm in an awkward spot, regardless if Nuri hits it. And he ended up outpacing him, of course, leaving the net wide open. But even if Jazz was right there, it would have still been awkward. But now, attempt from Cherry, a lob high to try and get it down the middle. Now Cherry does get into a little bit of a conflicting touch with Chucho, of course, not working very good on that momentum that they have to try and maintain as Jazz clears the ball to the side. Cherry right there, awkward position, almost gets bumped by Jazz. Feels like Trinity are trying to deal Kyrios like a finishing blow with their own strategy, trying to go for bumps and boost steals.
Yeah, and it is working out so far that I don't think they're trying to play their own game anymore. I feel like they're not going for those really fast paced play style as I was talking about in the pre-show. I feel like they're trying to play Kyrios' game, but just outmatch them in it. Like just winning those 50s, starving them, getting that maintained offense. But right now Kyrios is on the offense, and that's a good pass into Chucho, and he will score. He beats out, I think it was Hodge in the net there. Very good passing play here from Kyrios.
Well, a good passing play, of course, being connected through that beautiful mindset, beautiful plays from Chucho. That speed was on par, and Hodge not even able to react to it. And apparently they are now claiming for a server reset, maybe potentially some problems showing up after a while. But it's still, of course, 3-2. Trinity still in the lead, and Havoc now trying to get that ball work to the middle. But Cherry does get a good connection, does get a bump on Hodge, a demo even, and that gives up a lot of space. That's right there. Chucho is the one to try and get that ball worked in. The ball now high up in the air. Havoc does beat Nuri as the ball is lurking. It's flying towards the Kyrios net, and Cherry does try and control it, does get it past Hodge, but Chucho almost has to pre-jump that shot from Jazz to try and get it cleared.
And that's a good pass from Havoc there to Hodge to keep the possession, but not very well dealt with by Hodge. He just gives the ball right back to Kyrios, and nowhere here on little boost, but he will pick up the 100. Jess will beat him to it now. Cherry up on the backboard. Hodge will be there. He misses his touch. Free shot from Chucho. Straight into Jess though.
Well, a free shot into Jazz, of course, that's putting some high pressure on this defense. And right there, we have an opportunity from Nuri. Does get a very good bump. Now the ball getting past Cherry, definitely not something you want to look at this scenario. Chucho trying to control that ball, but does get quickly challenged by Havoc to get that momentum up, get that pressure going. And Cherry has to pre-jump this. Jazz would have otherwise scored the finishing blow, but right now they still have an opportunity. 15 seconds to go. Ball goes into the middle. Now Hodge taking the ball to the side, just try and control it, does get a lob into the middle where Havoc is, but gets beautifully read by Chucho as the ball is still moving along. Havoc not letting that pressure go away, because otherwise this will be game over. Chucho, ball to the side. We are in zero time. Ascension Trinity take game 2.
Yeah, and I'm actually very surprised of these games. They're very close. Both games have been one-goal games that could have gone either way. And both teams ending up getting one is, I would say, the best possible outcome that could be. But it feels like either team is not really trying to play this to the strategies of what I was expecting them to come out with from what I've seen from these teams. But they're kind of trying to match each other here. Maybe in the later games where they've kind of felt each other out now, they will try to go in and be more dominant. But like we'll have to wait and see for the next game.
Well, of course we're remaking the lobby. A little bit of problems, and I hope that just means that we're gonna see some even more amazing Rocket League. Because of course that start right there was already amazing to begin with. Of course, Kyrios coming a little bit short. Of course, a one-goal differential We're gonna try again. A one-goal differential game is definitely not something bad. It's definitely, well, or potentially not something that you would even recommend or call a sweep. So that's a very good performance from Ascension Kyrios, as most people are rooting for the Trinity side. I still believe that Kyrios does have a good opportunity, definitely with the way how I feel like Kyrios? No, I mean Havoc, Hodge and Jazz are connecting. Sometimes the touches are a little bit off. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you are right about that. It's more of Kyrios team play have been really good, but as I said, it's for Trinity. It's not about the team plays. It's not about the passes. It's more about just like being one guy and like keep being that one guy until you pretty much have a free shot, until you start the or just paced the opponents so much so that you just can score easily. But I've actually no idea what to expect for this game 3. I don't know if it's going to be much of the same, or if one of the teams are going to try to switch it up and try to bring some fresh, maybe Kyrios will go for more of those demos that I was expecting him to come out with, but we'll have to see.
Sometimes you gotta be surprised in a pleasant kind of way, I would say. And that's definitely what Ascension Kyrios have been doing. They have been stepping up their game, even though they lost a little bit in the early sessions and in the early stages of game 2. We saw them committing a little bit too much, getting outpaced a little bit by, of course, Ascension Kyrios with Havoc, Hodge, and Jazz. Mainly Jazz being the scoring guy for Trinity though, and Hodge being right behind him, and Havoc seems to be a little bit the guy that falls behind from time to time in terms of scoring, but of course that doesn't mean anything. You're always relevant on the team as long as you can get proper touches, and I feel like that's what Havoc is definitely
doing. Yeah, I feel like Havoc is that like setup guy to just get up there and get those touches out to Hodge and to Jess to finish them off. But I feel like these teams are very like closely matched. I think these guys scrim each other a lot since they're on Ascension, both of them. But despite their MMR being so much like different, with Trinity of course being the team that is the higher MMR, I feel like they scrim each other enough times so that they are very close matchups, and that's why this is very important for them.
Now, this is the time when I'm gonna start my thing again, where everybody tells me I'm wrong, that I feel like MMR never says enough about how a team should play. You can have a team of 3 1600s with extreme chemistry playing very well, and I feel like that's more this case. And even though I think Hunch was like 1800, Havoc is like 1700, I don't know what Jazz is, but still, it doesn't tell the entire story. And right there we have, of course, a beautiful opportunity coming out from Jazz, being cleared to the side by Cherry, and that is just to show that both teams are equal. Those 50-50s are very important, and if you know to place them well, then of course that will make the difference. But I feel like they're on par, and definitely right there, Cherry be the mechanical guy to get past the entire defense for Trinity.
Yeah, that is definitely a correct statement right there. Like, you can have a lot of guys, like a bunch of, like, I would say even 1500s with insane chemistry playing together, but that is not insane chemistry. I see here Jess racing to the open net, Cherry trying to get back, Hodge off the post there. No, he's just gonna take his time trying to force this one through, and Cherry now up for the double tap, misses his shot, but he will get a 50 on Hodge. Havoc now trying to push this one all the way back, but yeah, I mean, it comes down to chemistry on the team. It does. I don't think you can say this team play is this rank, so therefore they must be good. I feel like they have to prove themselves with their play instead of their MMR.
Well, I had to prove themselves and open that once again, and Havoc leaving, of course, that last defender, but Hodge not enough boost to get that worked in, and that's definitely a painful thing to see this go wide. But now, opportunity from Kyrios. Cherry with that opportunity right there, but doesn't get it. This is now an open net, and Havoc just take control.
Havoc here, he gets an unfortunate first touch after he demos Chucho, but he gets the little doink on his car, on the front of his car, to just pop it straight into Norway, who unfortunately smacks it right into his own net.
Well, that's of course a fortunate turn of events. Sometimes it doesn't go the way you plan it, but what can you do about it? But of course, right there, we have Havoc getting that second goal. We were talking about him having no goals before, and now he's just somehow stepping off. Chucho says he's lagging. I feel like the servers are not happy with anyone at this point. Like, it's always at least someone having a little bit of an issue with the entire server.
Yeah, see, I was just checking. Chucho is having some packet loss here, but it's the same what's going on for Trinity last game. There's really not anything we can do about it than just play and see if it gets better over time. A 2-0 lead with 2 minutes left for Trinity here. Do you see it going any other way than to Trinity right now?
I mean, if Kyrios starts playing against in the end of game 2, then definitely there's plenty of opportunities to go around, but they have
Okay,
to stop
pass.
double committing. Nuri always taking that ball away from Cherry when he's in a perfect position to try and deal with it. He's definitely making it hard, but right there we have Chucho, of course, does get a beautiful 50-50 as Jazz was right there to
Hodge.
follow it up. A
Good
play to
reset.
Hodge, does get the flip reset, but not able to work it in, but right there, open Natty Spaghetti. But it is Chucho that does get it to the side. Cherry
Okay,
now
fake.
with one fake, gets it past one opportunity, but Hodge, the speedy guy, is right there to step it in and get that ball cleared away.
And a demo from Chucho will open up some space, but Jazz is right there to shut that space down now. Cherry trying to go for the block, but Havoc is just placing that one to the side now. Trying to take control, but Chucho is there with the immediate challenge. And it seems like Kyrios wants to try and press on now, but Nora is nowhere to be found, and that's just going to be pushed straight over his head. Now Hodge racing towards Cherry. Cherry does beat him out to it, but Havoc is right there again. Nora with unfortunate just right off the backboard, and GS will score it.
I mean, not to be rude to Nuri, but I feel like he is the MVP for Trinity right now. Like, all those touches on defense going wrong in favor, of course, for Trinity. That's definitely something sad, and it reminds me a little bit of a game from yesterday. I don't know if you were watching it, but Angie Cobalt also had a very bad day, and one of the players was also setting up the other team quite a lot. But I feel like Nuri has been stepping up in different kind of ways. I feel like it's a little bit of double-edged sword where sometimes it goes wrong and sometimes it just goes completely right, just as in game 1. Everything gets shut down, everything gets cleared, and then it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, I feel like Nore is a very good player when he's feeling confident and when he's like comfortable. And I don't feel like he is that right now. He's on low boost most of the time. He's forced into making some awkward touches, and it just makes him look very silly sometimes on defense because of those awkward positions he's being put in.
Awkward positions, the last 10 seconds. Trinity trying to get the ball, another goal worked in. Hodge right there, keeping the ball in the middle. Havoc keeping it up, down to Jazz. That's still high. Still trying to do something with it. Far ball from Havoc, but Hodge nowhere to be found, nowhere to even try and keep it up. And that's going to make it a 2-1 in series right now for Ascension Trinity.
Yeah, and Trinity right now on the series point here, looking to to take the series in 4 games, and I wouldn't be surprised by the way they're playing right now if they do it in this next game. I feel like Kyrios has to step up a lot, and they have to start being more aggressive. You see, they don't get as nearly as many shots as Trinity are right now, and I feel like it comes down to the speed. Like I don't want to just make my own points, but like you see the goals where Havoc scored, where he was just up way before Chucho, even though Chucho had perfectly enough amount of boost in there. He was just up there reading the play so much faster, and that's why he got that goal. Like it just comes down to whoever can read the ball faster, and right now it's Trinity that's doing that.
And I have to completely disagree with you on that one.
Oh,
Because it was mainly double commits causing it. Players not giving the space on each other on Kyrios. That did end up giving Trinity, of course, those kind of opportunities to try and challenge that ball quicker. And I feel like at least 2 out of the 3 goals from last game definitely went that way. And I feel like that is the main struggle. It's not something that Kyrios is not good enough. They're just not mixing in with communications, not communicating well enough. Definitely one big issue that I've seen happening quite a lot is Nuri and Cherry when both of them are in defense. Nuri rushing back, Cherry being behind him. Of course, a little bit of darker color of car does make it hard to see him, and I feel like that is maybe one way this goes. But right now, the pressure is already on Havoc in that middle, getting
that's
that
a good
ball down
pass.
to just
Oh,
beautiful block right there from Chucho. Does get a demo right here to clear some space, and Nuri now tries to control it, tries to get it down to the middle. But right there, we have Jazz from Trinity already lurking, ball high. Havoc does miss it, but now it is Hodge with infinite boost almost. Getting that ball to the middle, and there's Cherry. Does get a beautiful save, but of course, triple man commit on defense is the last thing you want to see.
Yeah, and again, already in the start of this game, after the first minute, the Trinity is just boost starving Kyrios, and there again, very good carry from Hodge here, just pulling out one defender and then beating one more, and then Havoc just beats the last guy. Easy open F for Hodge. Not really any problems for him right there.
Well, no problems at all, but of course that is the first goal going in favor of Trinity. Quick shot from Cherry, does go to the backboard, and there was Chucha already trying to read it, but he doesn't get the touch he wants. But Nuri with a quick interception, almost getting past the entire Trinity line, but of course that was just to get that worked out.
In. Oh, that's such an unfortunate 50-50 for Kyrios here. Cherry not quite getting there in time, and Chess just hitting it off the corner, and it just rolls in.
Well, rolling in, that's of course making it 2 already, 4 minutes remaining, and that's a quick clear to the side from Cherry. Now being followed up by Hunch, does take his control, does take his time to get this ball cleared, and that's past the last defender. Now Chucha has to step in, makes a very good save, but of course he has no boost, and now that's very hard to do.
And Cherry now, with no boost, trying to force this way through, but Hodge is there to shut him down now. Chucha, his try to get it out of the defense. Havoc with a little bit of a miss there, but Hodge is there to save him. And now Nowhere misses his touch again, and Cherry as well with a miss. Now it's off the corner. Nowhere with a miss again. And we see Chucha 50 against Hodge. Hodge has all the boost in the world, but he's called off by Havoc, who also misses the ball. See here, Hodge just playing around with Kyrios right now. They're just he's just taking around everyone. And now Hodge again, just punching it downfield, but Havoc's just sitting on the boost pad right now, not having any boost to go for that one. And now Havoc can actually go for it. Just avoids that demo so that Hodge can easily air dribble this into the Kyrios side.
Well, easily carried in. Of course, now the pressure is on that defense for Kyrios. They have to try and escape for it as well as quickly as possible and as effective as possible. But I feel like they're struggling a little bit right now. We see that Trinity is all over the place. They know how to read the defense so perfectly well, and they are really taking control of it. Right there, Cherry not having a boost. Definitely didn't go unnoticed by the Trinity side, and we have a shot from Hodge going in, and that just makes it an easy goal for them.
Yeah, and here Havoc just slangs that one across the net, and then Hodge is already knowing where that one is going. Just is up so fast and just beats the one guy in net. I didn't really get to see who it was. I think it was Chucho, but I'm not quite sure. But just so fast from Trinity that Kyrios cannot catch up, and the boost game for Cherry is just not there. He just does not have any boost every time I look at him, and I think that's the playground now for Kyrios. Every time I look at a Kyrios player, they don't seem to have much boost. Like, they don't seem to have any over 50 boost every time I look at them.
Every time you look, they have no boost, but of course now they are trying to create that opportunity, trying to get that plays in, but a double commit, a double miss does leave the net open, and it's just too Havoc almost getting in that net, and that's definitely a nice way to end it. But now Cherry does get it past one, beautiful fake, does get it over Havoc, ball and down, but it goes out. Cherry, unlucky man, but that was a beautiful dribble, taking all 3 of them out of the play.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what they need right now. They need the dribbles from Cherry, from Chucho, from Nore, just to beat some players to the ball. But that's an open net, but a miss from Jess here now. A little bit of a fake from Havoc now. Goes over the entire defense. Hodge is there, but oh, I thought the defense was gonna get there, but they not. Let me see here. I don't think they had much boost again. No. Just Chucho with an unlucky landing, can't really get up to that again, and it's 4-0 now. It's looking very likely as I would say a mini reverse sweep after losing that first game, getting 3 in a row right now. It looks like Trinity will take this series.
Well, looking like Trinity will take this series. Of course, Kyrios, of course, made a statement in game 1, and maybe that's more than enough for them, but right there, Chucho with no boost. Or not enough boost, rather, no position to try and save it. Does make it 5-0, and yeah, I think that's the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I think Kyrios has lost their hope. I don't feel like they really they're really playing to win anymore. They're just playing as a like formally, just to not be rude, to just leave and forfeit. Just playing the games out because that's what you do in the ECC.
Well, it's just what you do. Maybe it's easier said than done for a couple, but right now we see that Cherries just try to get that ball over. Almost does connect it, but Hodge able to step in that last second. Very, well, it's not like it's important anymore, but of course staying strong till the end is a very nice feat of strength, and also a little bit of a sportsmanlike conduct for Ascension Kyrios, I feel.
Yeah, I would agree with you here, but I feel like Havoc, no, okay. I thought they were gonna get one more, but they won't. And Ascension Trinity taking it 3-1 against Ascension Kyrios in the Ascension Derby or Derby. I don't actually know which one is the correct way to pronounce it, but
I mean, if you just call it a face-off, that would be
uh,
very
but
accurate as well.
I mean it
Or
is.
a showdown, that's also something that worked.
Yeah, okay, okay. Call me out on my flaws here, you know. But it was almost what I predicted. They got 3 games in a row, but not exactly in the way I imagined it. They lost game 1 and then they won 3 in a row after that. And they won game 4 very convincingly, I would say. They didn't look like they had much trouble in that game at all.
Well, definitely didn't have too many problems to try and finish it off, but Kyrios definitely did try their hardest. They did try to hold on to it, try and make it some lot of a saddy play, and it sadly didn't work out for them. They did play phenomenally, definitely that game 2, almost making that comeback against Trinity. That's definitely something nice to see, almost making sure that that ball goes out and getting that. It's just sad to see that in a total sweep for the last game, but of course, you were talking about Trinity being higher MMR, and at the end of the day, it seems to be, of course, be the effect. Both teams play a lot together, and it's not something you can hide. You see it clearly. If Ascension Kyrios was the one playing a lot together and as Trinity wasn't, then they would have taken it. But this time around, it was Trinity definitely being stronger because they practice an equal amount as Kyrios.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad to see that, as you said, Kyrios getting smacked so hard in that last game because they definitely had more to offer than a 5-0 against Trinity. They played really well in all the other games, I feel like. So that game 4 was, I think they just lost hope for themselves, and it was unfortunate to see, but well played to both teams, I have to say.
Well, with that said and done, I think that was our only match for tonight. Of course, the showdown between both Ascension teams. Both played phenomenally, nothing else we can say about it. Of course, the players played to the best of their ability to try it and let their skills speak on the field. But it was Trinity that did run away with the win, of course. And I don't know, is there something else you want to say, Nico? Or...
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming out to the ECC stream tonight. Thank you, Timmy, for working the cameras behind the scenes. And yeah, thank you, Godalions, for sponsoring this season of ECC Season 6.
Well, with that said and done, of course, we are back in a couple of days, or maybe even tomorrow. It all depends if we are available, if there are games being played. So, yeah, I've been Stealthy Wolf, joined by Nico, and like he said, broadcasting was a very charming and beautiful Timmy, doing the best of his work for ECC. Of course, he's an absolute legend, carrying it through and through. And yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this show, and I hope if both Ascension teams are watching this back that they do give each other credit, because both of them played phenomenally. Kyrios might have been the lower team in terms of MMR, but they played equally, and just in the last game it fell a little bit apart.